WWE Champion Tim Vicious and we are going over Raw this week was in jolly old London, UK. Always love the London shows, you know, and probably one of the best parts about it, you know, one of the things I do, I always make sure I avoid all of frickin' social media and internet altogether from the hours of 12 p.m. until like 7 p.m. and which you would think that's relatively hard, but not necessarily, especially if you have a frickin' hashtag game addiction like yours truly. But either way, really good. I always love seeing the London shows, love the London crowd. It was really good, you know. Started, you know, before that though, like I said, we try and talk, want to start trying to talk about some of the other news that's been circling around on about what wrestling in general. First off, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, their all-in show September 1st sold out within a matter of less than an hour. I think it was 53 minutes. You know, I mean, granted, yeah, StubHub bought a good chunk of the tickets, but congratulations to Nick, Matt, Cody, everyone that's involved. The whole point of it being all in, the Young Bucks said it themselves on Chris Jericho's podcast. You know, they have people saying, we want to be sponsors. We would love to do a sponsorship to help support this. No, this is all coming from us. We are all in on this. We're putting everything on it. And I absolutely applaud that. In which case, not only that, it is also a big, giant, and this is the part that I absolutely love the most, a big, giant fuck you to Dave Meltzer, because this all came to be because someone decided to ask that little fuck knuckle Meltzer, hey, what do you think the chances are Ring of Honor could sell out a 10K show? Impossible. And then Cody just said, hold my beer, watch this. And next thing you know, now look, they got New Japan, Ring of Honor. I think they got a few people from like CMLL or AAA, one of them. I know they did announce recently they got Rey Mysterio. And, you know, really big congratulations to them for that. You know, first, you know, that definitely is needed. And contrary to what it may look like, I am not some atypical WWE fanboy. I am just a fan. Emphasize, fan of wrestling in general. Doesn't matter if it's WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, CMLL, DDT Pro, Dragon Gate, whatever the hell. Combat Zone, you know, anything. As long as it's a match, you give me a wrestling match, say, hey, Tim, check this match out. I'll watch it. That's it, point blank, plain and simple. Now that also, other news. John Cena. Oh God. This is a little puff piece at a note that Wade felt we needed to introduce on this. John Cena was on the Today Show today. Don't worry, it wasn't during the important parts with like Al Roker or, you know, any of them. No, it was on the fourth moon of Endor, otherwise known as the final hour of Today's Show. He was on there talking about his most recent breakup with Nicole Bella, and then talking about on how he does want to marry her, he does want to be the father of their children. Okay, now this is feeling more like a work. So I'm fairly convinced now John and Nicole are pretty much trying to put one over on us all just because, you know, the Total Bellas Season 2, which case, honestly, not a fan of the show, but the only reason I would watch is to see the breakup so that way I could, because I'm not a fan of seeing people I like being heartbroken and, you know, and do bad in a relationship and, you know, feel emotionally distraught. But if, you know, I see a celebrity couple who go and just flaunt it constantly on how they so love each other, this, that, and the other, that they are, and then the second it's, you know, they're going to show them like, yo, hold my Pepsi, I'm going to watch this. Let me watch this so I can laugh. Because you can pinpoint the exact moment their heart explodes right there. Don't judge. There's a reason why I have the name Vicious, okay? You know, I'm not necessarily one of the nicest guys out there. You know, I may be warm and kind-hearted to some, but to the rest of the world, I'm a cold-hearted, sadistic son of a bitch. You know? Anyways, back to the show. Now that we're done with the other news, let's get on to the main point of the show. Raw, London, go. Starts off with Roman, and man, you needed a frickin' paddle to swim through those sea of booze. And honestly, at this point, I kind of feel bad for Roman because no matter what, he's in a no-win situation, honestly. You know, he could become more technically sound than frickin' Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and Daniel Bryan all put together. And be able to put on matches that fuck-knuckle Meltzer would go and give 10 stars to. People are still going to boom and say he can't wrestle and he's shit and all this, that, and the other. Just because of the fact that, you know, he got made the WWE's poster boy. Well, you know, I hate to say that I kind of saw that coming, but yeah, I kind of saw that coming. Anyways, he comes out, he talks about on how he got screwed out of his qualifying match last week by Jinder. And I know I poked fun last week about with the McMahon logic. Ha ha! It's Jinder Mahal versus Roman. You're gonna have to cheer for one of them, pal. Ha 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 ha! God damn, that's good shit. You know I joked around with that, but that's all it is, jokes. It's what we do here. But, you know, leading up to a Roman-Jinder feud, in which case I think that could pay off for both of them. You know, they could give each other both. They can give each other both a chance to, you know, show what they can do. And honestly, I think that they could go in, stick it to the fans that say, oh yeah, you know, you guys both suck. Oh really? Well, watch us. You know. But he comes out, he's insisting he wants another opportunity for Money in the Bank, so that way he can then get back at Brock. And then out comes Kurt Angle, which then he just point blank says, no, Roman, I'm sorry, no, you lost. You're at the back of the line. You gotta, that's it. I'm sorry, man. I'd love to help you. Can't. Love to, but can't. I'm paraphrasing all this. Yeah, after that, Roman says, fine, well, if you won't, I'll take matters into my own hands. So then they follow him into the back, and he walks to the back, he sees Jinder, Jinder goes and throws some meal at him, and then they proceed to start brawling. Then, excuse me, Roman starts putting an ass whooping on him, works his ribs good. Later on in the show, they show Jinder in the medical room, getting iced up, his ribs all bandaged and taped up. You know, Kurt's still saying, hey, ask him, Doc, is he medically cleared to compete? I don't see any reason why he's not. He can. And Jinder's like, I just got viciously assaulted and you still want me out there? What is it? This is bullshit. You know, basically, you know, playing it up as a heel. Yes, because heaven forbid a bad guy should act like a bad guy. You know? And then starts having a hissy fit over it. And you see him later in the show walking, you know, nursing ribs, which case, you know, I've had a few broken ribs myself, you know. And it does hurt to do anything. Walk, breathe, you know, the only thing that doesn't hurt your ribs, that doesn't hurt when you have broken ribs, is blinking. But, you know, he's walking through. Next thing you know, Roman, right out of nowhere, boom, spears him through. And, man, I gotta tell you, that was a freaking really well done gimmick wall that he got speared through. I mean, you know, you could tell it was obviously sheetrock. You know, I've done sheetrock work. You know, I still do. In fact, I got a few things planned over the course of the summer for my house, but ADD. Yeah, he got speared through that, and man, that was some really well gimmicked. That was a pretty good, well gimmicked wall because you could see the chunks of the sheetrock dangling there, but you also saw wiring, sitting there like, to make it look more realistic. Like, god damn, they had electrical wiring sitting there. Now, obviously, it wasn't active, but like, god damn. Did the untrained eye, that would make it, for like, not when I say the untrained eye, I mean like somebody who's not quote unquote in the know, or a better example, someone like a kid, my son, he saw it and he was like, whoa, he put him through a wall? Wow, I don't want to make him mad. And that was his reaction. So yeah, so Jinder was officially taken out of his Money in the Bank qualifying match, which now sets up Roman versus Jinder at Money in the Bank, which honestly I have zero problem with. Now with the first match of the night, as well as match of the night, Seth Rollins does another open Intercontinental Challenge. Kevin Owens answered the challenge earlier in the day via the Twitter, and so we get Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, and man, this is some good shit right here, because it just, whoa, really nice, good, solid start. Liked on how Owens, he started to get control, really started to gain control right after the break. Really good back and forth between these guys. Just beautiful. And I know these guys went at it before. I think it was in IWA Mid-South as Tyler Black versus Kevin Owens. I think it was like 8 or 10 years ago, something like that. If I'm wrong with the dates, feel free to say something in the comments. But, I'm just going off of a little bit of, my Rolodex isn't exactly the best. I'm not, I'm not exactly like Rain Man with this day, this time. No, I remember things. Not all the way 100% accurate on the dates though. So that's why I always say, never quote me on the date. But great match, really good, really solid, and this is the Ring of Honor fanboy in me, but I kind of felt like that if Kerry Selkin was watching this, he was just thinking, that's the reason why those two boys were top guys in when I in Ring of Honor. But yeah, match came to an end when Owens, he hit a fisherman's brainbuster off the top rope. He went to go. Seth crawled to the outside. Owens crawled to the outside to get him. He wound up coming. He tossed Rollins back in. As he's crawling back in, Rollins, boom, hits the curb stomp on him. Gets the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Seth won. And honestly, I said it before, I'll say it again. You notice ever since Moms Against WWE stopped being on Twitter, Seth brought the curb stomp back. Coincidence? I think not. Moving forward, next Money in the Bank qualifying match, No Way Jose, up against Baron Corbin, up against Bobby Roode. Triple threat. Now, Corbin, he was pretty much in control until, Jose stopped him. And, yeah, you could tell there's a small little story building up between these two. Hopefully, I think that it's going to peak as a kickoff show on the pre-show for Money in the Bank. If not, I would expect it to peak like a week or two before then. Other than that, really, between these two, with Jose, I made the joke right at the beginning of talking about with this card, this match. Jose really just kind of, it's really like the Adam Rose gimmick, and as much as I love that, there are some things that are good in NXT that cannot transition well on the main roster. And I mean, okay, you want to do a conga, you want to be the party guy, okay. Well, give me something, what else do you got? How, you know, are you Mr. Party 24/7, or are you party when it's work time? Are you party when it's off work time? What is it? You know, I mean, like, show some vignettes of him out in a club doing stuff, things like that, you know. I'm just saying, things like that might help. But anyways, back to the match, you know, like I said, Corbin, he was pretty much in control until Jose stopped him. And then after that, we pretty much were left with No Way Jose versus Bobby Roode. And match came to an end with Bobby Roode hitting the glorious DDT onto Jose. So, yeah. Honestly, it was pretty obvious with Bobby Roode not winning, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. You know, it's, I've said it before, I'm like, my brain is really weird on how I can, like a wrestling Rain Man, you know, I can see on how the ending's going to happen. That's why I don't really care on the ending of a match so much. I worry more so about the storytelling from the time the bell rings until then. That said, next tag match, we get Breezango going up against Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, now going as being referred to as the B-Team. Ugh, Jesus Christ almighty. Yeah. And they gave a reason and everything for the name being the B-Team, because they were going to say, we're the A-Team. And Kurt just looking, are you guys idiots? The A-Team was a show. It was a movie. Okay, well then we'll be the B-Team. And Axel just looks at Bo. The B-Team? Yeah, but the B stands for best. Okay, I can kind of see that, because now I'm kind of picturing like a whole bunch of people making like fucking A-Team memes with this shit, like, if you need help and a tag team that needs squashed, you can call the B-Team. And just see Bo Dallas come in like, you know, like Mr. T and shit like that. I will be all for this now. If they start making them, if they start molding them to be more so like, look like the actual A-Team, you know. Anyways, so yeah, this was pretty much like the piss break of the night. But the big highlight of this match was the crowd was fandangling the da 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 shit. Match came to an end with, surprisingly, Axel and Dallas doing like a belly to back neck breaking suplex and got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. I mean, it was a generic tag team move, so it wasn't like nothing big or fancy like a Doomsday Device or, you know, 3D or anything like that. But yeah. So yeah, they got the win, and now they're gonna start going saying on how they're undefeated, and yeah, hopefully that pans out well for them. But moving forward, next up we got another women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Sasha Banks, or I'm sorry, that match is later on. This is a trios women's match. Sasha Banks, Natayla, and Ember Moon going up against all of the Riott squad. And well, it was kind of like your typical women's tag match. I mean, the faces, they were in control right up until the commercial. They come back, Sasha got turned into the team punching bag, and then after that, Natayla got the hot tag, she cleared house. wound up getting the win, locked in the sharpshooter on Liv Morgan. So yeah. Now I'm all for the idea of the Riott squad. You know, you want to make them be the ones that are shaking things up in the women's division, saying, hey, listen, you know, we ain't like the rest of y'all, so fuck you. We're here to show why we're different. Okay, but what is it that makes them all different? I mean, obviously Ruby, you know, or Heidi Lovelace, however you want to dress her, if you're one of those indie smarks that refuses to acknowledge a different ring name. But okay, she's tattooed, she's a punk rock chick. Okay, that's cool. Liv Morgan, she's a Jersey girl. And we'll just leave it at that. Sarah Logan, you know, country girl, one of those mean, thick old country girls. Yep, all well and good. Honestly, really preferred her Crazy Mary gimmick, but I ain't gonna go and bitch and cry about that. But yeah. Now, also, sorry about that. I did not mention this because I completely forgot about it, but they fed the feed on the show like twice on there. Nia Jax did an open challenge to Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank for the title, so that's going to be Ronda's first official singles match. I could see that match going either way, but honestly, I'm hoping for Nia to win, just because, you know, the little segment that they played with it was with Ronda saying, hey, I'd like to take the challenge, but there's other girls in front of me that earned that spot, so why not give it to them first? You know, have her, you know, be humble enough to say that, and then get put on the ass end of an ass kicking, and then have that be like a way to say, be like, you know what, I lost that, now that just makes me want that title more. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fight and scratch and claw my way to get to that title again. Only to get screwed out by Charlotte near the end, which then leads to a match between them two at WrestleMania next year. Just saying. So yeah. Next match we got is the Revival going against Hardy and Wyatt, which kind of funny talking about the Revival at this point in the show, given that we just mentioned the Bucks and Cody and the Elite and all with, well, FTRR. So yeah, Matt really working the London crowd with the whole Woken gimmick. Absolutely love seeing that. You know, if you can get the crowd to go with you on the show, that's when you know you got them and you know you're on something good. You know, case in point, anytime Steve Austin, he could do a, what? What? You know, I mean, it's 2018 and the two most used words in a wrestling show are yes and what. Hands down. So what's that tell you? Anyways, you know, it was a half decent match. Kind of liked it. Nice back and forth with the tag action going on with it. Match came to an end though with Hardy and Wyatt doing their new finisher. It's like a it looks like a reverse double Russian leg sweep. You know, where the opponent goes down face first onto the mat. They Cole wound up saying it was the kiss of deletion. So yeah. That's that. Next up we get triple threat women's match for the next Money in the Bank qualifying match. Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Bayley, and whew, man. You want to talk about a whole lot of hot booty in this one. So yeah, you know, pretty much on how to sum this match up, Mickie and Alexa were double teaming Bayley pretty much for a good chunk, for pretty much all the match until you know, Mickie wound up trying to go for a pin on Alexa, and then they were like, okay, really? So we're doing it like that? Okay, fine. And then they'd start to work each other, and once Bayley looked like she was starting to catch her breath, boom, they'd do the double team again, and then go back to each other. And that's on how it went until the end when Alexa Bliss, she wound up on how the match came to an end. Bayley and Mickie James were fighting outside. Bayley threw Mickie up against the security post, got back into the ring, then Alexa Bliss, boom, hit that DDT. Nice good snap, nice good crisp on that one. I'm a DDT man myself. Got the 1, 2, 3, that was it. So Alexa Bliss is in the Money in the Bank match. Yeah. So next up we get a tag match. Finn Balor, Braun Strowman going up against Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And my first thought seeing this match was, oh shit, this is going to have ICW this got ICW backstory written all over it between Balor and McIntyre. And for those that may not know what I am talking about, back when McIntyre was on the Independents going by Drew Galloway, he was in ICW. It was at Fear and Loathing. I don't remember which one, but he was in I believe he was in a title match for it. In the title match, I know it was the Fear and Loathing in the Hydro, but Balor, he was still recovering from his shoulder injury. He was there, wound up hitting Galloway, and cost him the match. So my first thought was, well shit, they already got a good deal with ICW. They could fucking pull that shit out of nowhere and use that down the road. That was my first thought, but yeah. Everyone else's first thought, according to my Twitter at Tim Vicious timeline, everyone else's first thought was, Braun Strowman and Drew Galloway, I have to see this. You know? But yeah, I don't know. My brain was weird then, I guess. But anyways, it was a meh kind of start because it literally started as Galloway, fucking McIntyre and Ziggler just got into the ring, and then they cut the commercial. They come back and both tag teams are doing a stare down, looking at each other like, yeah, come on. Which one, you want to start or you want me to start? You? Me? Alright, got it, man. And so yeah. Oh yeah, Finn, he wound up pretty much getting isolated, working as the team punching bag, which, okay, yeah, that makes sense given it's the team of Finn and Strowman. You know, well, damn, you can't have Braun Strowman be the team punching bag. He's damn near 7 foot and just about fucking 400 pounds. So, anyways, well, Braun got the hot tag in, cleared house. Didn't get that epic stare down between him and McIntyre. We'll eventually get there at one point. Guarantee that. But Braun, he wound up missing a ram through over in the corner. So Finn, boom, tagged himself in. Wound up working Ziggler for a minute, and then surprisingly, Dolph wound up getting a quick wound up working Finn, got him pinned, and well, actually, while Ziggler was pinning Finn to get the 1, 2, 3 for the win, I've got it pictured in my brain. I'm trying to get it into words. I'm talking fast and I'm thinking. Sorry. Braun wound up doing a run around the ring and rammed McIntyre so hard he wound up ramming him and flew. He flew and knocked out, broke and destroyed the Greatest Rumble Ever's trophy that Braun won. And yeah, so that happened. So yeah, that's that. Next up, main event time. As I said, Jinder was supposed to be in this Money in the Bank qualifying match. However, he's been taken out. So instead we get Kevin Owens, who made sure he got himself in this match because he said earlier after he lost to Seth, he went to Kurt, man, I just lost. You saw that. I should be the winner right now. I should be the Intercontinental Champion. I should be. I deserve a rematch. No, you lost. That's it. Oh, I deserve a shot at the Money in the Bank. No, you don't just get handouts. Kurt, I deserve this because of the way that I was treated all through this past year. From Shane McMahon till now, I have not been given my fair share. I deserve this. No. Well, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? I'm going to call Stephanie. And yeah, he does. So that gets him in the match. So we get Elias, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. Starts out with a big brouhaha brawl. Everyone, and this was a nice kind of triple threat match. Everyone got a chance to really shine. Really like the way Owens and Lashley were working with each other. I really hope something goes on between them two down the road at one point. One thing that I was relatively impressed with that shows just on how over he is with the crowd. Halfway through the match, Elias gets his guitar, makes JoJo come on over and hold the microphone so he can start strumming a little to play. Absolutely beautiful. I always say, try and do something different. Weird is good and all that. Don't be afraid to do something different, and because you're not going to know what's going to work until you try it. So yeah, he does, and people were into it. The crowd was chanting, let him sing, all that. Match came to an end when Bobby Lashley, he was outside getting ready to climb on back in. Sami Zayn came out, stopped Bobby Lashley, hit him with the hell of a kick. Now you can tell they're starting a feud between Lashley and Zayn. Building up from saying that Sami wound up getting vertigo from him, from a vertical suplex, so that's why he wasn't able to compete at the Greatest Rumble and all that. And now he's going to be bringing his sisters out to expose Bobby for the person he really is, and all that. And after Sami took Bobby Lashley out, he then was like jumping for joy, like, "Come on, kid, go, you got this, man, get him!" And so Owens climbs up, boom, frog splash onto Elias. 1, 2, 3. That is it. So Kevin Owens is in that match. So yeah, he's in there. Now my big concern with the Money in the Bank match is you got Braun Strowman in there, man. You got a fucking damn near 400-pound man. You want him to climb, we'll just say for the sake of argument, roughly a 40, maybe 50-pound aluminum ladder? Is that thing going to be able to physically hold that much mass? That's my big worry. So, yeah. That's it for this week's show, folks. So, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. You also have another account, Tim_Vicious. In the event I'm ghosted or locked up or put in Twitter jail, I'm also out there on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Make sure if y'all find me on my Facebook gimmick from here, you let me know in some kind of way so I don't think you got your creep John going. Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. At some Melody, make sure y'all check out Axel's newest project, Brit Wrestling Review. They talk about British and European wrestling. Can you kill it? My two good bros, I am Danny Sunday, and the executive producer for this show, Oliver Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure you check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such details down below. Also, don't be afraid to hit Ollie up for one of these sweet Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support, as well as Cranky Grandpa, Aaron_Deborah, and Gazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me great to hate me. Fuck you.